Hey boys, what's going on? It's your boy Colazo here today, guys, and today I'm bringing you another Duelist video. In this video, we're going to be going over some more Unearthed Prophecy spoilers. I have 6 of them for you guys today. Today is day, I think, 8 and 9. I'm putting 2 days together, so I hope you guys enjoy. 2 of the cards on this list, Duelist didn't update their, their website where they put all this stuff, so I don't have the animations, but I have the cards. So yeah, let's hop into our first card. Our first card we're going to talk about is a Magmar minion. Now, this card is called Catalyst Quillbeast. It's a 3-mana, 3/4 with whenever you cast a spell, deal 1 damage to all minions. So first off, let me say it's a pretty decent sized minion for 3 mana. 3 mana, 3/4 isn't bad. Definitely Magmar. Magmar typically struggles with 3 mana minions. They have for a very long time. I don't even know if they have anything playable at 3 mana right now. Let me go look. I mean, they have Ragebinder, and that's really it. Nothing else is really played, and Ragebinder is only seen play in certain decks. But yeah, so this is a pretty nice addition. Magmar has a lot of cheap spells you can use. There's things like Greater Fortitude, Amplification, which would actually be really nice combo piece on this since it's going to damage itself anyway. And then there's Flash Reincarnation if you decide to flash something out one turn. So this can really deal with a lot of other like swarmy types of board states, like the Arcanist deck that's been going around, or that was going around. I'm pretty sure that's over now. And then it shuts down Lilith pretty hard. So I'm pretty excited for this card. I think it's a pretty nice 3-drop for Magmar. But there's a lot of other good neutral 3-drops that came out already. So we'll see if this card sees play or not. May I add, it is a Scorn trigger ability that you can trigger over and over again, except Scorn triggers when you summon it. This card you do have to cast spells, so you might not get that 1 damage on all minions if you're not able to cast a spell the turn that you play this. This also pairs very well with Twin Fang, which is the reason why I'm going to play this card, because I love Twin Fang. It's my favorite artifact in the game. So Quillbeast pairs very good with that card since you're dealing 1 damage to all minions. The way Twin Fang works is whenever a minion or general takes damage, you get +2 attack, or your minions or generals. This also does not damage your general, so even when you are playing Twin Fang, it doesn't take off 1 durability off of your artifact, which is really nice. And then, yeah, that's really it. Just keep in mind that it does deal damage to itself because it's 1 damage to all minions, so keep that in mind. So, we are going to move to our next minion. That's really it with this thing. I'm very excited for it to see play. Magmar needs a really good 3-drop, and I think that can fill a spot. Definitely if you're playing Twin Fang, like myself. I always play Twin Fang. The next card we're going to talk about is a pretty interesting neutral card. Now, this card is Komodo Hunter. There's Komodo Chargers in the game, so it's pretty cool that they made like a big brother to that card. Now, this is a pretty interesting card. First off, let's talk about it. It's a 3-mana, 5/6 with Opening Gambit. Your opponent summons 2 Komodo Chargers nearby their general. So this is what we need in Duelist. This is a really good aggressive card with a downside, which is really nice, which still makes it playable. It's not a bad downside. They're getting 2 1/3s, which aren't very strong. Obviously, it never ever Komodo Chargers don't ever see play in Constructed. They only see play in Gauntlet. If you guys didn't know, it's the 1-mana 1/3. I'm pretty sure everyone kind of knows what it is, so I'm pretty sure you start the game with it when you first start. But yeah, man, I think it's pretty interesting. I think we might see this in some Reanimator decks. And may I add, this might be good for Reanimator because you want to play aggressive. And, you know, if you play this card next turn, you play Keeper of the Veil, you get this back because it's the only other minion you played. And now you have another 5/6 on board. Granted, you are giving your opponent more minions to mess around with and do things with, so you got to be careful. On the plus side, this also shuts down Reanimator decks if you're playing it, because now your opponent has these 1/3 Komodo Chargers that they could spawn back out of War Beast. So it's like a 50-50 when it comes to that. And not War Beast, when it spawns out of Keeper of the Veil. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, that's really it with this card. I think so. It's good and bad with Keeper. I think it's going to see play definitely. It's very good for aggro decks. A 3 mana 5/6 is amazing. And then you can also buff this card, so that's pretty dope. And you could even flash reincarnate this card and throw down a 3 mana 5/4, which still isn't bad for 3 mana. So I think this card's definitely going to see play. I think this card's going to be good or not, depending on the opponent that you're playing against. Like if you're playing against like a Lilith deck, this card might hurt you because giving your opponent Lilith minions kind of hurts because she normally plays a swarmy type of style, so she could be running like DFCs and things like that. So depending on the deck you're playing against, this card could be good or bad. So I'm very excited for this card, though, and I'm very, very, very excited to try it in a Keeper Magmar deck. So move on to our third card. Our third card, now let's talk about this, man. This is Theo Blue. He's a 5 mana 5/6 neutral minion with Opening Gambit. Replace each card in your action bar. Oh my god. Okay, so let's just talk about the body and stats itself. It's a 5 mana 5/6. Is not bad. It's like Incineraria, which is in Vitruvian, so I think it's already playable with the body. Like, even if you pick this card up just for the body, like if you're playing Gauntlet, not bad. And then we actually might see this in Standard play because of replace decks, which normally we don't see. The last time I think we saw it was maybe in the Kron meta. There might have been 1 or 2 going around, but now this card actually makes replace, playable. Because think about it, right? You're gonna, imagine all these scenarios if you have a full hand, right? You get I wrote this down, somebody wrote it down, so don't judge my math. You get a 15/3 Wings of Paradise, which is crazy. You get 6 prisoners out of Kron. You get 12 damage off of a White Widow. Now, that's just numbers that I saw someone post on Reddit. And that's crazy, man, if you just think about it. Because, I mean, replacing everything, there's so many replaceabilities in the deck that it's going to be nuts. It's going to be absolutely crazy. And then, may I add, Astral Crusader with this thing is going to be absolutely crazy. Astral Crusader is going to be ginormous and huge, and we actually might see it played. I think Astral Crusader gets +1/+1 every time it's replaced. I don't even know if I have any. I'm trying to skip to them. I kind of hope I still have Kron, to be honest with you. I do not have any Astral Crusaders. Oh, that's so upsetting. Yeah, but anyways, I think this card's definitely going to see play, and I think we actually might see a really good replace deck come in this next meta, just because this card is going to give you some insane burst some turns, and even if it doesn't, you get to 6 prisoners. That's going to spawn 6 more minions to do things with. What we're going to see replace, I'm not sure yet. Maybe Starhorn or probably Kara. Starhorn are probably the 2 we're going to see this deck with, but nonetheless, I think it's going to be an amazing card. I think we're definitely going to see replace decks on the rise, though, and I'm very excited for this. Out of all the cards that have been spoiled, probably out of all 6 of these cards, this is the card that I'm most excited about because of just bringing a whole new archetype to life. Bringing back the replace. I'm so excited for this. So, let's keep moving on, though. Let's keep moving on to our 4th card. Our 4th card was spoiled today. Now, this card is an Abyssian Legendary. This is Desolator. He's a 4 mana 3/1 with Opening Gambit. Steal 2 health from the enemy general, and Dying Wish. Return Desolators to your action bar. Now, first off, for steal 2 health from the enemy general means you gain 2 health, not it goes to Desolator. So you don't get a 3/3, you get a 3/1. But you gain 2 health, which is really nice. It is 4 mana, and I kind of wish it was 3 mana. I think 4 mana is just a little bit too high, and it's going to be really hard to just play this thing out of your hand constantly. And then it has Dying Wish, which kind of makes this more playable because you can play it in Lurking Fear, which is my favorite archetype in the game, and I think everyone knows that, so I'm definitely going to try this thing out. This thing with Consuming Rebirth is going to be absolutely crazy, being able to trigger it and bring it back again. That's nuts. And wait, if you Consuming Rebirth this, right? If I Consuming Rebirth this, does it give me 1 in my hand, spawn another one on board? I don't know how that works. I would figure that's how it works. It puts another one on board, and it puts 1 in my hand. Anyway, This with Blood Echoes, now they're summoning really any Reanimator effects. This is going to be crazy with. And then with Lurking Fear, making all your Dying Wish minions cheap. If you can play like 2 Lurking Fears and play this thing for 2 mana, you're probably going to win the game. Because stealing health is real nice. Definitely when you're playing Lurking Fear, you can, you know, spam out the minions. You can get this thing off Necromata if you have it in your deck. Like, I'm just super excited for this card. And I think it's going to fit in very well in Lurking Fear. And I'm very excited about that. Like I said, I kind of wish it was 3 mana. I think 4 mana makes it a little bit unplayable in most decks. I think the only deck this is going to see play in is probably a Dying Wish deck. And that's probably about it. Just because I think 4 mana is too much for a 3-1 that they can just ping off. Even if you're playing Cassava, you can ping this off yourself and steal 2 health. Maybe even for lethal sometimes you could do that. But I doubt it. I doubt it. Probably only see play in Lurking Fear. But yeah, that's really with this card. Like I said, I think it's just a bit too slow. So, on to the next card. The next card, this card's awesome. Now, these last 2 cards I actually don't have animations for just because they weren't working when I tried to take them from Twitter. This card is a Vitruvian card, obviously. This is Trigon Obelisk. It's a 4 mana, 0/9 structure with Summon Dervish 3 times. Now, I'm pretty sure these are Wind Dervishes just like any other Obelisk. Now, this thing's crazy. Let's already talk about it. First off, I'm not sure if it's confirmed or not. Besides this card already being good, this kind of makes Allomancer a little better. Now, I don't know if you can get this card off Allomancer. By the way, Allomancers, where did you get a random Obelisk? This is an Obelisk. So, you know, that'd be really cool to see. Actually, wait. Don't think so, actually. Oh, no, yeah. No, you could. I was just making sure obelisks are labeled as structure and not obelisk itself. So, yeah, you could get this off of Allomancer, so that makes Allomancer a little better. And then Trigon Obelisk isn't that bad, man. We might actually see Windslicer played, which is really cool that Windslicer might actually fit in a deck now, because as a 2 mana 2/3, he's still not unplayable. We just didn't have enough obelisks to support him. And now, you know, I'm pretty sure everyone's going to run 4 of these if you're playing a Dervish deck. And just because Dervishes are going to be crazy right now. So playing all 3 copies of this card is going to be nuts. And then, like, just imagine this just living through one turn and you get 3 Dervishes on board. The amount of things you can do with that, like playing Third Wishes or playing so many good things that Xerox has that works with Obelisk. I'm very excited for this card. I think it's very, very strong. It is weak against Magmar, but every Obelisk deck is weak against Magmar. Vitruvian itself is weak against Magmar. So I can't even really just say that, because Magmar just has such strong removal with Natural Selection and Plasma Storm. But other than those 2, man, this thing is a 0/9 for 4 mana that spawns you 3 minions. You're going to be able to swarm the board so hard and get a commanding lead in the middle of the board if you play this thing. Just because you're going to be able to wipe your opponent's creatures because you're getting 3 Dervishes. And oh my god, just that you get 3 of them is crazy. I think this card's amazing. I think it's definitely going to see play 100%. Definitely going to see playing competitive. Let's move on to our last card. Our last card, now unlike the past card, this card is Abyssian. Now this is a 9 mana spell. It's called Doom. The enemy general is doomed and will die after 3 turns. Now, first off, let me just say I don't think this card is very playable. It's too slow, and there's really nothing in Abyssian that supports this. You can't play it cheaper. It's a 9 mana spell that makes the turn go on. Like the game doesn't end until another 3 turns, and by then you probably almost won anyway. If you look around on the meta right now, we see a lot of aggro Abyssian decks that this would never fit in, and aggro Abyssian is like top for Abyssian right now. So I don't think this card's going to see play. I think if you're running like Cassava, you'd rather run Obliterate because it matches like the deck that you're playing. You're playing Shadow Creep most of the time. So you might as well just play Obliterate instead. And then like this card just is too slow. You're going to end the game before this thing actually works. Unless you're playing like a control deck versus a control deck. And like you're both getting terrible draws. Like I doubt this thing would ever see play. But if it does see play, let me let you know now that Grandmaster Zir and Internal Heart both save you. Internal Heart drops you down to 1 health, I think. I saw Thanatos post on the Reddit. And then Grandmaster Zir, you know, this would kill off your general, and then Grandmaster Zir takes over like normal. So I think this is a pretty cool card. but I don't think it'll see play, at least until we get some kind of support for Abyssian that like lowers the mana cost of some spells or something like that, kind of like a Flash Reincarnation for spells. But other than that, man, I think this card's pretty cool. You just won't see play. But that's really all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave it a thumbs up, comment down below, and let me know what you guys think of these cards. I think they're all pretty decent besides Doom, and most of them will probably see play besides Doom. But other than that, I'm your boy Clazo. Hope you guys keep on dueling, and I will see you guys next time.